We're going to have reporters with us from Washington. Let's bring in Politico's Eli Stokols, the Huffington Post Amanda Terkel, who's been talking to the Cruz campaign. And let's start with National Review senior political reporter Alexis Levinson. Alexis, thank you for joining us. What do you know at this time of night?
So the one thing I keep hearing is that this is a really, really rough night for Marco Rubio. You know, they came out, they said this was never a night we expected to do well. He canceled events in both Louisiana and Kentucky. But the results that are coming in are even worse for him than I think you would have anticipated. He lost in Maine. He lost the Portland area, which was an area he really should have done well in. And also in Kansas, people I was talking to there were like, oh, he's going to win the area around Kansas City. He lost there to Cruz pretty badly. So the results that are coming in tonight are just not looking good for him.
Again, I asked the question, Alexis, was that because of his performance just 2 nights ago in that rather ridiculous debate?
You know, I don't know. I think it's hard to say, but that certainly is potentially contributing to it. But I think you're starting to see the Cruz campaign and also the Kasich campaign really making the case, guys, why are we saying he's the alternative to Trump? Like, this isn't jiving with what the results we're getting tonight are.
Amanda, your thoughts about tonight and how it corresponds to what we're seeing. I think we're going to see that there was a resounding impact of the debate 2 nights ago in today's coverage. It's helping Kasich. It's not helping Rubio.
And that's what the Cruz campaign thinks, too. They were telling me that they think that Rubio stooped to Trump's level, and a lot of the voters didn't like it. And the Cruz campaign is also pretty proud of their ground game. I mean, Donald Trump in Kansas, he was basically no presence there. And when he announced he was finally coming to Kansas, he spelled Wichita wrong, and he spelled Kansas wrong, and that was very insulting to many people. The Cruz campain, they said,
wait a minute, how do you spell Kansas wrong?
I think there was an extra A in there. It was clearly a typo, but yes, it didn't look very good. So the Cruz campaign, though, is playing up saying, look, we are running a grassroots campaign. This is what we like to do. It's a very hard thing to do. And so this shows that why we are better prepared for the general election than Rubio and even Donald Trump.
Michael Dukakis lost an election because he didn't fight back. John Kerry never responded to the Swift boating attacks. Does Trump learn the lesson? He responds to everything. You attack him, he attacks back until the fight's over. Is he smart or stupid to fight back even against stupid little charges? Short fingers, he fights that. Explain.
But Trump has been doing this somehow brilliantly since the beginning. Like, whatever you say about him, the man knows how to work a media site. He knows how to step on everyone else's parade. I mean, after the Houston debate, Marco Rubio finally landed a clean hit on Donald Trump. And that seemed like a really big deal. No one had done that since Carly Fiorina. And then all of a sudden, the next day, Trump rolls out a Christie endorsement, and everyone's like, oh, what debate? We didn't have a debate. We're all focused on Christie endorsing Trump. And
that was like Reagan invading Grenada after what happened in Lebanon. But then, anyway, Amanda, I'm cynical. Let me ask you, Amanda, this whole thing about fighting back. Brain soup we talk about. Some people just are who they are. You can analyze it to death. But Trump's the kind of guy that if you smack him, he smacks back. He smacks you back harder.
Yes, he does. And Marco Rubio is honestly, he's not that good at it. He's a little better than Jeb Bush was. But, you know, he's a little...
Donald? Well, that was a wicked comeback. Okay, Big Donald.
Right, it was because he had been saying Little Marco.
I know, but it's better to be Big Donald than Little Marco.
It is. Yes, it definitely is. And Donald Trump, I mean, part of his genius is figuring out what might irk another person and what sort of you can characterize them and really make it stick. And he was doing that early on with Jeb Bush, low energy, and it really did work. And now, you know, you have Ted Cruz, who's not really likable, Marco Rubio, a choke artist, and he's going to keep repeating it over and over and over. And it really does stick. And so far, none of the other candidates have been as good at that. And when they do drop to his level, they just don't come out of it looking very good.
Who's the choke? Who was the choke guy?
Marco Rubio, he was calling the choke artist.
Well, once you've got Amanda Terkel. Amanda, thank you for joining us. What do we know about Rubio and this push to excuse him from the scene by Trump?
Well, one thing tonight isn't great for him because all of Florida can start early voting today, and a lot of people really don't want to vote for a loser. So as you head into the Florida primary on March 15th, people are watching how he did tonight. He didn't do well. There are people, obviously, who still like Rubio who are going to turn out for him. It's his home state. But there are also a lot of questions now raised about him. Is he viable against Donald Trump, against Hillary Clinton? And so tonight, in some ways, could hurt hurt Rubio going into his home state.
Well, he's going to go a number of days without his name in the headlines or in the front lead story. He won't win in Michigan. He won't win in Mississippi. He's not won anything today of all the 4 contests. And so he will find himself going into his home state with nothing that shows he's still in the race except his paid advertising.
Right. Increasingly, it looks like it's Cruz versus Donald Trump. Donald Trump saying, you know, he shouldn't even be in the same league with us. He should drop out. And again, it isn't just leading up. It is that people are actually able to go to the polls and vote right now ahead of the actual primary date.
Okay. When did the voting start down there? What day was it? Today?
It started today. It started for some counties a little bit earlier, but starting today is when everyone could begin.
Okay. Thank you. MSNBC's live coverage. Thank you, Amanda Terkel of the Huffington Post.